On this episode of Pitch Chris, how do you go about getting film funding when you're brand new in the business? After you shoot your feature, how do you then promote that movie? And how much do extras really get paid? Hi, and welcome to episode 33 of Pitch Chris, where you guys ask me questions about the entertainment business and I answer them for you. To ask me a question, find me on social media at DeBlasio, hashtag Pitch Chris, and I'll be happy to answer all the questions you guys have. This first question comes from Drew. Let's see what Drew has.
Hey Chris, Drew Callner, freelance writer and director from Birmingham, Alabama. I had a question. What resources or tips would you suggest for young up-and-coming writers and directors to help find funding for their project?
Hey Drew, thanks for your question. We do get asked this question a lot on the show. So when you're just starting out, if you don't have connections to big film financiers, you might have to get started yourself. And there's certain things that you can do. One of the things you can do is you can look at networking groups. So go where the money's at, right? So look at different networking groups where financiers may be and start networking with some financiers, building up the relationships that you're going to need to have to fund that feature film that you have, right? So you want to go to networking groups where there are financiers or rich individuals, right, that may look to invest in film projects. The other thing is, people that are closest to you. If you're just getting started and you haven't built up that trust level with a financer, you might want to go to some friends or family to see if they would invest in your project to get you going. And then last but not least, if you can't do that on your own, look around and start seeing some items that you may have lying around the house that maybe some clothes that you can get rid of. Start. There's money all around you, right? You just have to figure out how to try to get as much of that as possible to get some seed funding, because when an investor comes to you and says, okay, you want my money, great, what are you going to do with it? You're having that conversation as opposed to, hey, I've already raised this much money on my own. I need the rest of this to complete my project. That makes you look like a more savvy producer because you went out and you hustled and you did it by yourself. That's going to give you more leverage when you do actually get in front of somebody that's going to give you money. So I'd suggest start that way and then go from there.
What are some weird ways actors promote the movies?
So there are many different ways that actors and actresses can promote movies that they've starred in themselves. One of which, the number one thing, is social media. You have social media outlets, and if you're an actor or an actress, you need to start building your social media presence, because I can tell you from an executive producer standpoint, I'm going to be looking at what your social media following is, because I know if you have a big following, that's a good outlet, right? So those people are going to go see you in the movies. So you want to build up your following, but start promoting your content on social media. Also with cast, the other people that you've been in a movie with, start doing pictures with them and cross-promoting each other. That's a way that you can start getting more engagement, because their following are going to follow you and your following are going to follow them. It helps both of you guys. So you're going to want to do a lot of collabs with people on social media. So I would say social media would be the number one platform that if you want to start promoting movies that you're in, find it that way and do a lot of collabs with other people in your industry.
How much do movie extras get paid?
So the pay for movie extras ranges significantly. Depends if it's a union project, if it's a non-union project, how many extras are needed, what the budget of the film is. There's a lot of range there. So what I would say is generally you're going to want to get paid something, right, as an extra, but it does generally go from free all the way on up to maybe a couple $100. It really depends. There are things like being a featured extra. You might get a little bit more money for something like that, as opposed to just being somewhere in the background or not even seen at all. So it's kind of a difficult question to ask, because it does range. So one of the things you're going to want to look at is if it's an actual union project, you should get paid something. So I would say if you're researching that, make sure that it's a union project so at least you can get paid a little bit as opposed to a student firm where you may not get paid anything. But you do want to get at least a credit, something on to get on your resume. So that's all we have for today's episode. Thank you so much for sending in all your questions. If you have a burning question about the entertainment business, send in your questions, follow me on social media, and tell everybody in the industry that you know is the best place for your source to get information in the entertainment business. Till next time.